doze off a little bit, you know why. All right.
Can I just add something here as well? Because this is obviously something I teach. So where you see my name, it's got Joe Saunders dash LinkedIn trainer forward, that LinkedIn trainer, it doesn't come from your headline on LinkedIn. It comes from your title and your experience. So you want to make sure your experience title is optimized with something that you want to be seen in Google as.
Yeah. Cool. And that'll also, and with that there is, Joe, you might have some feedback on that, but putting a relative keyword to what you actually do will make a difference to you coming up. And it could be the difference between you coming up if someone does a general search for your service. And once again, it will come down to how competitive that space is. Maybe you'll actually come up in the results there, and then someone clicked on your LinkedIn profile, which will then turn into an inquiry or another connection that then you can actually leverage for your own business.
But it's also about using the right words. I mean, and just one quick thing, if in your experience section you've got business owner, consultant, partner, director, something vague, there's no context to that. So having that right next to your name doesn't tell people anything. It doesn't tell people anything in LinkedIn, apart from hierarchy in your organization. But in Google, right next to your name, you're not kind of leveraging it.
Yeah. One thing I didn't know, so I'm going to put my hands up on this. Your second link there, Joe, and I'm putting you on the spot, is all in Spanish. Is there a reason for that? Can you see that? Your second result search there. My screen
is,
and the second red box on the right.
Oh, okay. That's because, hola. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, sorry.
It's not strategic. It's obviously the Spanish version of my profile, I would say. It's Spanish language, but it's not something I've done strategically. It's just never seen it
come up. Yeah, okay. There you go. So I just thought I'd point that out. All right. So quickly, as another example, I just did a quick search on Mark Burke, who we've got on this call as well. Sorry, Mark, I didn't give you any warning on this. But as you can see, for your own name, you come up in there, and then underneath that is your Wikipedia link. So it just shows you the fact that when Google uses, or when you typed your name into Google, your name and your profile on LinkedIn is a very high ranking page as far as information. So Google says this name, obviously you as a searcher is trying to find more information about that person, and what's the best page on the internet about that particular person. And Google now acknowledges the fact that LinkedIn is a very highly regarded source as far as information that comes up. So it's important that you do describe yourself in here, and you do have a good title, and you do have a good description, and your content reflects what you actually do. Because once again, you're only going to get about 3 seconds when someone looks at this and go, okay, that's the right person for me. So Mark, with your profile, I see you've got a wonderful photo there as well on the top. So that sort of defines what you do.
Wonderful photo taken by someone you know, Pete?
Yeah. I've met him once or twice. So as you can see, so Mark's done the right thing. His name comes up, and LinkedIn profile comes out in there as well.
So can I just add to that as well? So you'll notice again, once again, next to Mark's name, it's got independent information technology. That information has come from the title in the experience section, and then under that you'll see it's got it's actually grabbed the information from his headline. Now, unfortunately, I don't think you can control that, because sometimes in mine it doesn't have my headline, it has some other information. But in this case, we've got exactly what we want for you, Mark, because that's your headline. So you've got all the key information there. And second point, I'm just going to say something about the second Wikipedia listing. I don't think our Mark is the British physicist. So I think that's the other Mark Birkinshaw.
Yes, that's
unless you've got a secret identity.
No, there's very few people spelt their name the way I do, and unfortunately one of them is very famous and very smart, and so usually comes top of all the lists.
Well, there you go.
You're very famous and very smart though.
And just probably also worth noting that I am in Australia, you're in Australia as well, and Google's picked that up. I'm sure if I did the search in the UK, I'll probably get a different result. And Mark Birkinshaw, his LinkedIn profile and or his Wikipedia page will actually probably outrank you as well. Don't forget, Google also always will serve up your local results, stuff that's close to you, first of all, from a proximity perspective. So it's worth noting that. And that applies both not just to LinkedIn results as well as normal organic results. No different that if you go into, say, Google and you want to get a plumber and you're doing the search, say, on your phone. Google knows your location, knows your positioning in here, knows your GPS details, and will try to serve you up your local plumber who actually is physically registered as a business through Google My Business, and also that is actually located through to you, or they've optimized that page for that particular suburb that they service. So they've got to have some sort of content that reflects that. Ultimately, everything from Google, content is the king, and content and text and words are the thing that Google will actually rank up first, followed by and is supported by the amount of links that are coming back to that particular page that you're talking about. I've got a whole presentation that talks about content creation and link structure. And today's just more about introduction, the fact to make sure that people are using the right keywords and optimizing their profile and using the right keywords in their articles. So which then goes on.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Just about Mark. If Mark had a page on his own website about Mark Birkinshaw or about the team, and he's listed, there's his photo with named the right way, would that help his website rank for his name?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely 100%. Cool. So if you did have a page with Mark, with, you know, have your photo talk about you as well, then that'll definitely rank as well. 100%.
Cool.
So that's something to work on there, Mark. You still there? Don't forget, I can't see video of people.
You're getting the thumbs up from Mark, yeah.
Yeah, I can't see anything, so I'm assuming everything's happening behind the scenes. So the next thing, what I did, just wanted to show you the fact that if I search for an article, Google actually will serve up results. It actually scans articles that people have written inside LinkedIn. Once again, Joe, I'm picking on you here. So I've just got I know an article that Joe's got is how to find a LinkedIn expert. That could very much be some information about, say, Mark, I'll pick on you, about IT solution, and in particular, could be, you know, .NET architecture effects on some industry that you're an expert in and so forth. And that particular person, it could be, say, in the medical field, and you've done a whole bunch of work with .NET architecture, and you've got an article inside the LinkedIn system, as well as an article on your own website as well, which I would strongly advise. But the one on your LinkedIn, Google will actually scan that content, will catalog that content, and will know what it's all about. So when someone does do a search, in this instance, I've got how to find a LinkedIn expert. We've got an article that comes up, which is titled correctly, how to find a LinkedIn expert. And then if I look on the right-hand side here, that's from obviously inside LinkedIn, that's titled correctly. And then the text inside that page, Joe's followed a pretty good structure with regard to how that uses the word, how to find a LinkedIn expert. So you can see the power of that. And from this article inside LinkedIn, if you have a link going back to your own website, which that could be basically now linking to a money page or a page where you can fill out and collect their contact details and then they can inquire with you, then that'll actually hopefully convert into a client. So all I'm trying to do is create here a bit of positivity around adding content to your LinkedIn profile on a regular basis, as well as your website.
So T, just one thing to add in here with articles.
Yeah.
Articles are indexed by Google, and the title is the important part, but articles in LinkedIn are really difficult to see. So a lot of people give up on articles because you don't get a lot of views and engagement on the platform, but it's about, sometimes it's about leading traffic to your website.
Yeah, hopefully that's what I was trying to say, just in a convoluted way. So I've only had literally about 2 hours sleep.
Marianne, I think, had a question.
Well, it's actually from Fiona Lucas in the comments. I'd just like to read it, and hopefully either one of you, Joe and Pete, you can help her with this. I was lucky enough to be on LinkedIn early, as there are so many people with the same name, being Fiona Lucas, but I'm challenged now for first place. There are other authors, actors, nurses, you name it. What is the best tip to keep myself in the lead apart from posting regularly?
Kill the others. That's not the way to do it. I would strongly recommend
kitchen knife.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend have a very strong profile page. Optimize your title and your description on your LinkedIn profile. But I would also complement your own website if you've got your own website as well. Is that something you have, Fiona?
I've got a website that's into my brand name. I did have a personal blog, but I had a dispute with iPage and they deleted it.
Okay.
So I've got the domain, but I haven't done anything with it, but it is on the agenda this year.
Yeah, okay. Is your domain with your name as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's another indicator through to Google to say this is the right page for that particular title. The title or the keyword, which is your name. I would, even if you've got your own website, which discusses what you do, if you have a dedicated page just to you, you'll find that'll actually rank as well. I would also recommend to build some external links. So this is writing content for other blogs and other pages, other LinkedIn pages, write an article, and then provide a link back to your profile with your name. So your link, your hyperlink, is your name coming back to your profile page, and that'll raise the awareness. And I'm using general words here without getting technical.
You mean when I write an article on LinkedIn to tag my own name back into that? Is that what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I just figured because it's from me, it'd be right. I think I got my 35th article up the other day, but I've taken a few years to do that.
Yeah. So like for instance, your name then becomes a keyword, and that keyword is your name. So if you can start optimizing or building a profile around your keyword as far as everywhere you've spoken about, and I'd even put in even what you do on there. There's nothing wrong with having 2 or 3 words on the hyperlink coming back to your particular website. That'll give Google, if you think about Google's actually cataloging everything, go, hey, everything to do with, Joe Saunders or Fiona, and what you do. And then that lands on your website, which has then got a lot more information, expanded information about what you do. Then you'll find you start getting results pretty quickly on that. Although you've got some competition from actors and so forth. But
and a scientist and some other woman who got the FionaLucas.com. So yeah, but most of my website's under I Respect Online. So it's not my name per se, but I do own the domain. It's just not active.
Yeah, you can still use your domain. And if you wanted to later on down the track, I'm happy to sit down with you, give you a bit of guidance about that, because you've got to make sure your page on your website is structured correctly and is optimized for your name as well.
About that.
Yeah.
I think I created my own website like 8 years ago or something. And
okay. But that'll still be better than someone landing on Fiona Lucas, who is a scientist.
Yes.
So ultimately you're trying to get the contact for someone who's after what you do. So if you can do that, then that'll aid you quite, cool. It'll be all in benefit. All right. So that's what
age her.
What?
You say age.
Age?
Age.
No,
age
you're hearing things. You're hearing things.
I must be. Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, no. Okay, cool. So just quickly, if we're happy with that, that's fine. We'll move on to keyword research tools. And I'm conscious it's lunchtime for everybody. So I can't see anybody. So if you're eating, that's all right. All right. So I just did a quick little search for trying to show the facts, HR Consultants Perth. And I'm using Google as a search engine, first of all. And look at that. Second result, natural result. So here, how do I annotate? Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my mouse is gone. I don't know what I'm drawing. Oh, here we go. So as believe it or not, my mouse is gone. So I've done a search here. I just wanted to quickly highlight the fact that I've done a search on HR Consultants Perth. I started typing Perth, and then Google serves up a whole bunch of results. These results are your powerhouse. So you don't have to pay for this. Some people spend a lot of money on keyword research tools, and there's a reason and a purpose for that. And so when I'm doing work, I do need the additional numbers and references and how much traffic is generated. But as a general consumer, when you're trying to find keywords or article titles that you want to see what's going to generate traffic for me, this is your Google Suggest. And if you can use that, then that'll be like a huge tool you can use to actually help you to write content and start optimizing your pages. So in this instance, I've just typed in HR Consultants Perth, and then I've got a suggestion of, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different results that you can start writing content about HR Consultants Perth. And in your case, if whatever everyone does, they can actually go through and start typing in whatever it is services they do, and then you find you get a whole bunch of suggestions in there. So these are all searches that people have done to find something similar, if not the same, of what you actually typing in your main search term right at the top there. But what I wanted to indicate here is your number one result there is Seek, because it thinks you're actually looking for a HR consultant as a job. But secondly, LinkedIn, as far as a key tag, it's coming up as well. So Joe, you might want to talk a little bit more about maybe HR management consulting as a tag and how to create tags. But in here, all I'm trying to demonstrate to you is LinkedIn, once again, is a very powerful search result that'll come up. So to adding and contributing content to your LinkedIn profile, putting long form articles, contributing to your profile, making sure that's up to date and you're using relevant keywords is paramount.
Further to this example as well, if you look at the actual URL, it's got linkedin.com company. So this is a company page with the name HR management in the name. So if you've got a company that has keywords in the name, then your company page will rank potentially. And if you've got a company like Tango, which has no context at all strategically, then then I guess you're relying on the descriptions on your page to rank as well. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, great. Thank you for that. And the second place to look at if you're trying to work out what keywords to use in your profile and description is at the bottom of this search. So if I scroll all the way down to this, which I'm sure most people don't go past the first 3 results, post the adverts, natural results, right at the bottom where you can find more results, you've got more keywords that people have actually used that are associated with your search phrase. So that's that screen on the left-hand side there. Is that, I don't know where that's drawing. Okay, I actually can't see my mouse pointer. It's kind of disappeared. This is what I'm talking about here. So there you go. There, that's right at the bottom of this page. So if I was to scroll all the way down, this is right at the bottom, and that doesn't matter what you're searching on. That's always there at the bottom. And yeah, so that's just another place to look for when you're doing it. All right. Another tool that we use to find keywords is, oh, hang on, what am I doing? Sorry guys, I've actually lost my mouse. There we go. How do I get rid of all these drawings? That's all left it on here. So ignore my drawing techniques here. How do I clear that, Joe?
You go back to the annotate. You go back to the annotate and then there's a clear button.
Yeah, but I don't. I'll annotate. There you go. Clear. Got it. Clear all drawings. There you go. Gotcha. Thank you. That little menu bar disappeared on my screen. So there's a bit of software called SEMRush, and on the right hand side, if everyone's got a mobile phone, for instance, I'll give you this is all I've done is created a QR code. If you put your smartphone into camera mode and you point it at that QR code that I've just created in there, you'll find that'll then take you straight to SEMRush automatically. So just a little plug in there for creating QR codes. This isn't a LinkedIn QR code for your profile. This is a general QR code that I've created a link that'll take you straight to semrush.com keyword tool, which then will allow you to sign up and get a free trial as well. There's a little green button because they'll try to get you to pay first, but straight underneath the sign up screen is a free trial in there. You can follow it through, but there's just a little tip in there. But all I wanted you to see is there are other tools that you can pay for, and it'll give you an idea of how much that key phrase, which we were looking for before, which was HR Consultants Perth, is generating traffic per month. In this instance, there's a volume of about 110 searches. And if you were to spend money on pay-per-click, it will be $5.25 or $23. But it also gives you another bunch of variations in there. This is just a free result that comes up. If you're paying, you'll see a lot more. But at least now you've got another 5 key words that are associated with your search, and I've selected Australia in there. I don't want to spend a half an hour talking about SEMRush, but I'm just giving you another tool that you can actually use. And on the right hand side, you've got related key phrases as well. And people that have searched on HR Consultants Perth, they've also searched on HR outsourcing. So if you're writing articles or you're writing content on your website or inside LinkedIn, this should give you some indicators what search engines will also generate traffic. So we use this quite a lot when we're doing SEO for people. So rather than trying to target a main keyword or a main search phrase, which might be difficult and very competitive to achieve in a short span of time, we start looking at this, what we call the second tier key phrases. Some people call them long tail, but everything's long tail because it's got multiple keywords in there. But if you can consider other keywords that people are searching with lesser traffic, don't forget it's going to be targeted traffic. So you can get 100 search people who are searching for your key phrase who aren't really ready to buy, or you can get 20 who are really on point and ready to buy or ready to find your service. So there's some tools you can actually use. Another tool that you can use, it's going to close this off, sorry, is Moz. Moz is another one you can actually use. I'm just giving another I did just once again, just a free tool in there. You got HR Consultants Perth. I use that as an example, and that could be Plumber Perth if you like, or whatever you do. And then this here result on the right hand side, hopefully you can see my mouse moving, where the arrow is, it gives you a whole bunch of suggestions for other key phrases. And once again, using these as main keywords, so using them in your title and your description, within your first paragraph and throughout your content, and even down to naming your images that you use. So as I understand, you can also put a keyword into your name, into your image, into your profile image. So rather than just uploading a photo called 123abc.jpg, give that image your name and then hyphen a key phrase you're trying to optimize for as well. And you may find that'll also generate some return for you. Is everyone okay with all this so far? Is anyone there?
Yes, Peter. Yep.
Okay, good. Everybody's good. Everybody's nodding and all good. No questions in the chat at this point.
I should probably have a third screen opened up here that'll show me everyone's faces, so I know if everyone's falling asleep or not. All right. So just quickly, one more thing I wouldn't mind covering as well. And are we still okay with time, Joe? Where are we? Still got a bit of time?
We've got 5 minutes. And then unofficially, we've got half an hour just for chats and questions and whatnot.
Okay, so, cool. Well, then we're okay then. So, links from LinkedIn. So, actually, before I go, is everyone okay with this? Does anyone got any questions?
Well, I do, just out of curiosity. What does the data on the right-hand side mean? You've got the dots and it says no data 180.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's relevancy. So, in the picture on the left-hand side, you've got your keyword, and then the title, column title is relevancy. That's how relevant that keyword is related to HR Consultants Perth. So it's more of an algorithmic tool by Moz that tells you, hey, this is really relative to what people are searching on. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Reg. All right, links from LinkedIn. So links inside your articles, inside LinkedIn, you can add links in there. As you can see, I've just highlighted in red there a link. So that's me highlighting it just to draw attention to it. That's a link that I think this is one of your articles, Joe, as well, that I've pulled from your profile, is LinkedIn content publishing. So what Joe's trying to optimize, I don't know if consciously or not there, Joe, is getting some traffic landing on her website to do with LinkedIn content publishing. So then in turn, if I'm doing a search in, say, Google or inside LinkedIn and typed in LinkedIn content publishing or publisher, because they're all relative keywords to each other, then at least you're getting yet another vote, another link that then lands on a particular landing page on your website. I just realized I said land on landing pages. So, but you know what I mean, where I'm going with that. So that's pretty important to make sure that you have that keyword. Once again, you've done some research as far as what keywords you're trying to rank for, and having those keywords within your page, and then linking on the actual key phrase to a targeted page, or what we call as a money page or pillar content on your website, which will then inform your customer, your prospect, someone who's searching for information to land on. I feel like you were going to say something then, Joe.
Oh, I was just going to ask about, I thought maybe get to it. The no follow. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, sure.
Not sure.
Yeah, so follow and no follow, that is a background tag. You don't see that. Generally, most links that people create inside their websites are follow, unless you actually tick a box to say it's no follow. No follow indicates to Google or search engines to say, here's a link, but it's not really all that important. So effectively, in layman's terms, that's what you're actually doing. But Google's actually started to ignore that in the last sort of year or so, in the last few updates, and it will still follow that link. It will still go through and link on it and still see how relative it is. It just won't give it as much priority. So if I had a link on my website coming, say, to someone's profile, and I'll keep it as a normal follow or normal link, you don't have to do anything for that, just by default. I'm telling Google that this is a higher quality link coming out of my website to your website or to your profile. So that's kind of the difference between the two. So I wouldn't concentrate on follow or no follow these days, but if you do have a choice, go with the follow link, which is a default link.
Pete, can I ask a question? This is from Fiona. I just want to make sure we grab it before she has to leave. She's asked about any latest Google updates that we need to know about in terms of SEO.
There's updates regularly that sort of come through. There's been a major update, but probably the main one that people need to concentrate on is make sure your website is mobile friendly and loads really, really, really fast. Speed is a major performance indicator and trigger to Google. And if your site's slow, you've got, big images that haven't been optimized, then optimize it as far as size is concerned, then you're not going to get favored by Google. Google will use your mobile phone result search as far as, or how fast you come up on a mobile device, and above and beyond your desktop speed website performance. So if you're lacking results and you're doing everything you can, I would strongly recommend you check the speed of your website. And if you just type in Google Page Speed Test into Google, then you can use their tool and sort of work out where you rank. And that's a great little tool. It's got a little trigger on it. It will give you a green or a red or an orange result. And it'll also go down and tell you what things are taking a fair bit of time or too long to cover. So that's the main thing that most people need to worry about. The last big one that sort of happened was more targeted at doctors or people offering advice and all that sort of stuff. So just to make sure they're all qualified in what they do. But page speed is paramount. If your content management system is not mobile friendly or friendly compatible, so you can actually control the content, what comes up, then I would suggest upgrading that, because that'll just become a more and more of a major indicator to Google, because Google wants all their customers to have the best experience. And you'll find if you look at your traffic, so using Google Analytics, for instance, you may find that most of your traffic is coming from a mobile device. Most of our customers are about 45% upwards as far as mobile traffic, so mobile phones themselves, above desktop. So, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger, and it's just growing all the time. Does that answer your question?
Yep, thank you. I'm going to have to go in a minute, Peter. But
yeah, sure. Look, I've pretty much finished. So as you can see, that's my end slide here. So I didn't want to, I knew it was going to be limited on time and there's so much to cover. But if I was to have a takeaway from the whole presentation, is I would do a bit of keyword research, and don't just always go for the key phrase that you think yourself you might actually rank. Do have a look and see how much traffic that those keywords are generating, and apply them throughout your profile. So you can actually rank for it, and make sure your page, your profile page inside LinkedIn is actually optimized well for your own name as well, because LinkedIn is a powerful source of links coming back to your website, and a reputable source.
Well, thank you very much for that that sort of share, Peter, of your knowledge and expertise. I know a few people have already headed off, and we've been saying goodbye to them as we've been going. So thank you.
Okay.
It is recorded, but you're happy to hang around for a short while in case there's any more questions?
Yeah,
right?
I'm here. Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know, what am I showing now?
We can see you.
You're
back.
Cool. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, no good. But I saw a quick question from Fiona. Well, not question, more or statement. SSL certificates. They're pretty vital these days, aren't they?
Yeah, so SSL is to make sure your website is secure. Google actually pushes up warning messages. So if your site's not SSL and it still ranks, and then someone clicks on it, then they're going to get warning message that this isn't a secure website and your information may be extracted, etc., etc. So, and you'll find slowly you'll probably drop off the rankings altogether. So an SSL in most cases, I know we offer, because we offer hosting services as well, is if you can have a free shared SSL certificate. It's only when you've got a payment gateway and you're taking transactions that you then need to start paying for an SSL. But most websites that you're just displaying your details and collecting just contact details, a shared SSL is perfect.
Thanks so much. I will have to go. I'm glad I got to join you guys.
Great. Thanks, Fiona.
Great presentation. Thanks so much. Nice to meet you.
Thanks,
Fee. Joe and Marianne. See ya.
Bye.
So any other questions around SEO, search, optimization, anything like that that Pete can answer?
Or maybe you, Joe, you can talk a little bit about the Boolean search, a little bit.
Boolean search. Yeah. Okay, well, I can do. I haven't got any slides on hand. I mean, I've got slides, but not I'll pull from. But searching on LinkedIn, I mean, you can search for keywords and phrases. Well, there's three things you can search for. Obviously, your name, your company name, and what you actually do. There's three things that you want to think about. So your name's easy, your company name's easy, but what you actually do, that's the hardest thing to be found for on LinkedIn. So if you type in, say you're looking for someone in a role, say you're looking for a business development manager. If you type in business development manager as it stands, it's going to look for profiles with those three words in individually. LinkedIn's not as smart as Google, unfortunately. So you need to then apply Boolean search. So Boolean search is something that's been around forever. It's what you needed in Google before Google was smart. But essentially, it's using things like brackets, commas, the words and, or, and not in capital letters. So I'll just go through them all. So the first thing it looks at is the commas, quotation marks, sorry, that's what I meant to say. If you put business development manager in quotation marks, it's going to look for those words in that order. So it's not going to look for things like business manager or development, by itself. So it looks for those three things. Then you would add the word and if you want to look for other terms alongside it. Or you might use the word or with an acronym. So obviously business development manager is often known as a BDM. So you'd have business development manager inverted in quotations or BDM. And then you might put brackets around it to group it together. And then you might add something else to the search. So the more information you can provide to LinkedIn, the more refined the results are. So the shorter that list is, and then you can obviously do what you need to do. Because you don't want to have thousands of people in that list of results. You want to narrow it down as much as you can. So that's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
And Joe, the same sort of thing applies to your normal Google searches as well. You can do the same search. The rabbit's ears also apply in Google as well. So if you type in your 3 or 4 keywords that you're trying to find a result for, that'll give you one result. But if you put those in quotation marks, you'll find, first of all, serve up the results that'll match that exactly in that particular order. So same thing applies.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Now, I just want to also mention something, then I'll address the question from Eleanor. So if one thing you'll hit with LinkedIn, when you start searching for people, you're going to hit, and you've got the free account, you're going to hit what's called the commercial search limit. And then you won't be able to search anymore until the next month. So the workaround for that, obviously the more refined you can be, the better, because then your search results and profile views actually count then. But if you do run out of searches, if you go into Google and do what's called an Xray search, then you you're searching LinkedIn outside LinkedIn. So an Xray search, and I teach this in my networking class, you're essentially going site : linkedin.com/in, because that's where all the profiles live. So you're telling Google to search inside of LinkedIn from outside of LinkedIn, if that makes sense. And then you apply all the other searches like the Boolean search. So you put a space and then you put the quotation marks, the rabbit ears. I heard them called rabbit ears. Business development manager, rabbit ears closed, or BDM, and Perth, whatever industry, whatever you're looking for. So then you can find people outside of LinkedIn without hitting your search limits. Thanks, Charlie. Nice to see you. I see you've got to go as well. So when you're looking for people in LinkedIn, so when you don't have this limit, so to answer your question, it's about looking for people obviously by name. You can look for their title. You can look for the thing that they do. So it's knowing who you're looking for and getting the words right so that the shortlist is valuable. Now, just to go on to the next question, because Pete, you might be able to answer this one. She's asking about, this is Eleanor, about articles and keywords. So posts, do keywords matter in posts in Google? And I'm going to say they didn't, and they didn't used to, but sometimes posts can rank in Google. But Pete,
but is that posts as in LinkedIn, or a post as in on your website?
LinkedIn.
I'm assuming, yeah.
I haven't seen any posts come up in any of my searches that I've done inside Google. So I don't believe they'll be weighted. I'd have to do some tests around that, but I can't see that being weighted.
You can search it within LinkedIn for posts though. So if you're looking for posts on a particular topic, it will come up in the content filter, because LinkedIn, when you're searching on LinkedIn, you've got the Boolean search. The more information and more refined it can be, the better. And then LinkedIn's got filters that apply. So things like location, job title, and those sorts of things. So you can apply, there isn't a filter for posts, unfortunately. So you're looking across LinkedIn, but sometimes posts will come up.
Oh, inside LinkedIn, yeah. So it's good to work out where you are if you're searching inside Google, your normal web browser search, or inside LinkedIn search, and LinkedIn itself using the LinkedIn search engine. And although LinkedIn might not be as smart as Google as far as searches, but inside LinkedIn, it'll give you more results.
Yeah. Now, one thing to find in terms of posts, this is the thing that does matter is hashtags. Hashtags index your content. So if you're searching for hashtags, your post will come up in search for the hashtag. So just keep that in mind. So do a bit of practice on yourself. Search for hashtag mindfulness, hashtag diversity, whatever the topic is you're looking for, and just see what comes up. And post will rank for that.
VM Perth.
VM Perth, yes. Absolutely. Now, Eleanor, you've got the floor really, because you are it now. So if you've got any questions, you are the voice. Now you need your voice actually.
Elena, sorry.
Elena, do you sing?
Elena. Jesus.
Elena.
Yes. It was regarding what we put in our posts, and you've answered the question very well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome. It was easy. Ask me a hard question.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
All right, cool.
There you go.
Pete, that was good. I enjoyed that. I learned.
I've learned a lot, Pete.
Yeah, I think SEO, some people get scared of it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's so encompassing. It's everything, isn't it? It's not just one aspect. It's like across the board on everything you do. So it can be very much an overwhelming. Yeah.
But if anything is also to give anyone advice, and I realize we're in an inside intimate circle right now, is contributing regularly will yield in results.
It's the tortoise theory, isn't it? Well, not the hare, but the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, and you will, because you're building up a steady profile, and a steady amount of content that relate to your key phrase, to your main services or products you're trying to optimize for. So if you're into, say, health and well-being, and you're using those keywords throughout, your content, and I'm talking sprinkle some magic, Reg.
Monkey magic.
Monkey magic.
Yeah, monkey magic, some SEO magic throughout your content, then that'll be great. What you don't want to do is abuse the privilege of keywords and using it on the page over and over and over and over again. You do have a threshold of about 2%, which is the natural rate of using that particular key phrase. But what you do want to use is synonyms to that particular key phrase. So if your instance is health and well-being, I would find, I'm assuming you know your industry, other keywords that are related to health and well-being throughout your content. So you saw when I was doing the keyword research earlier on, they gave me a whole bunch of other words that are related to HR consultants, and I'll sprinkle them throughout my content as I'm writing it naturally. And then Google's pretty smart. Don't forget, they've got hundreds of super smart developers sitting in a big room programming and outsmarting all of us. So we as individuals individuals will never be as smart as Google. So, and I see people trying to, outsmart, or it's just pointless. Just work the engine and be genuine behind your offering. And I've seen people succeed and get exceptional results, including myself, just by simply contributing content regularly that's structured correctly and built correctly.
Hey, Pete, Elena has asked, are there any more tips for getting articles more traction?
Write good articles.
Are you talking about within LinkedIn or within Google though? LinkedIn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can probably answer that one. If there's two-part process to your article promotion and publishing. So you write the article, you publish it, and at the point of publishing, you get the little box saying write a post about the article, and off you go. So that's one thing you've done. But then you want to keep promoting it. Now, not obviously every day or every week, but every now and again, bring it back into your content. So share it again with another bit of insight. And then share it across other platforms. Share it in, if you've got a Facebook page, share it out there. If you've got an email list, share it out there. And something I've discovered recently that I'm not using very well, and I probably should be, and this is more where you can contribute, Pete, is Google My Business. That's an untapped resource, I think.
Yeah. GMB, it's also referred to.
Ooh, GMB.
Yeah. is powerful in itself, because that'll help your natural organic results search, in particular in your map pack. So that's your first bunch of results that appear in Google. That'll give you a bit of preference in there as well. Also, upload your images. If you're a location-based system or organization, should I say, taking photos with your iPhone with all your GPS data in it will also help those images rank for your location. So there's a little nugget there for you as well. So yeah, take photos with your iPhone and upload them through to your posts in your GMB profile, and add as often as you can. The other good thing you can also do in GMB is put in offers that have got a time span on it as well. And the offer could be just get a free consultation or initial whatever, or a percentage discount. Google will serve those up in the natural organic results, which is free traffic. Let me rephrase that. Free traffic at the top. So highly recommended as well. I've had some good results out of, for my photo booth business by putting offers in, and Google will serve that up.
And events are another feature of Google My Business that you can use too.
Yep. So, same thing applies. Yeah. Don't forget, like if you're trying to use Google to give you results, use the Google engine. It's quite simple. Just get in there and start using it. So, I'm happy to do a session on GMB by itself if you like. I cover a little bit of it in my overall SEO strategy conversation.
That's
but I do
a good
more,
idea, Pete, because no one's talking about that.
Yeah. So, and that might be a bit more palatable rather than a full SEO, trying to talk about SEO in itself, because people can relate to GMB and people want to rank in the map pack, which is referred to. There's no abbreviation for it, but we can go MP if you want. Yeah, MPAC. And your MPAC, there you go. Reg looks like he's ready to go.
Yes. Well, actually, and just to mention, Elena, that actually all of us except Joe on the team, because we're all trainers of this particular program through Business Station. So Pete runs workshops. So Pete, I reckon you should run a GMB workshop through Business Station, because tickets are like $35.
Definitely, Pete.
Something.
Definitely.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
done.
that'd be an awesome workshop. I would go. Okay. I would attend that one.
Me too.
All right, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
I've got 2 tickets sold already. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm just conscious of time, and I know we said we were around for a little bit, but I'm sure, Pete, you're probably exhausted after doing your presentation.
I am, yeah.
Last night.
Sorry if I dribbled a bit today, but yeah, I only got to bed around 4.
No, you're on fire. You're fantastic, Pete. Thank you.
I think I'm on my 5th wind at the moment, but yeah.
I'm so looking forward to the recording, honestly, because I got so much out of this one, and it just sort of went like just yeah. I kept thinking, oh, what did you just say? And then you were on to something else, and I went, oh crap.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'll watch the recording. No, it's just me, my slow brain.
Okay. Easy.
I'm just looking at my screen, Pete. You've actually everybody's frozen visuals, so you're looking very serious. I'm just taking a photo of it. It looks
you've frozen, Joe. Everyone else is fine.
Yeah, Joe.
I'm Oh gosh, am I frowning?
Oh, Joe's frozen.
No, you're smiling, Joe.
Oh, at least I'm smiling.
Elena's smiling. Joe is smiling. Oh my gosh, Reg is smiling. Sort of.
Reg is always smiling.
Put a stop to that straight away. Ruin my reputation.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to go, guys. I've got another meeting to get ready for.
Yeah,
No worries. Good to see you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
See you very soon.
Thanks, Joe Harford.
Take care.
Thanks
Bye.
again.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going to actually stop the recording now.